I'm Mark Chalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today I have the pleasure of sitting behind the wheel of an absolutely stunning 1987 Ford Mustang GT Hatchback, which is a 5-speed and it has 12,960 original miles. Talking about the Foxbody Mustangs in general, these are the cars that I personally had when I was in high school and shortly thereafter. These are cars that I've always greatly appreciated, mostly because, again, it was part of my youth growing up. I've had so many of these cars over the years. Really, it's countless. Just have always been a huge fan of this body style. As the years have gone on, we've had some beautiful Fox bodies at the dealership, but if you've been paying close attention to the market, these cars are starting to rise very quickly in value. They're becoming harder to find, especially original cars like the car that you see here today. So some of my criteria when I'm searching for a Fox body is to find one that is truly unmolested, something that has original miles, something, of course, with low mileage, something that retains all the original paint, something that is still considered show quality, and ownership history and documentation is key. This vehicle fit all of the requirements I was looking for. I literally checked all the boxes. This vehicle is even better than I think you would imagine if you start to dig into it a little bit deeper. So talking about this exact car that we're looking at here today, I've made a binder for this vehicle, which I do for all the vehicles at MS Classic Cars. I organize any information that I have. I will start off by saying that we have the original window sticker for this vehicle. This documents exactly what it was born as, the color combination, the standard equipment, the optional equipment. This car obviously has everything that would be included in the GT package. It also has air conditioning, it has the comfort equipment group, and it also has the special value group. We listed in our description exactly what options are in each one of those groups. It also has a credit here for the sound system that's in the vehicle as well. So this vehicle was originally built in Dearborn, Michigan. Coincidentally, it was shipped to Village Ford, which was in Dearborn, Michigan as well. Again, all of that is on the window sticker. According to the clean Car Fax report, the original owner lived in Lincoln Park, Michigan at the time when he took delivery of this vehicle, which was in February of 1987. And again, the Car Fax documents that it never was retitled. It's an original owner car. This is a really documented here on the Car Fax report. The other piece of documentation that supports the claim is it has the original title. So this is the original title here. shows the Lincoln Park, Michigan on this title here, shows you the VIN number and all the information. That title has been signed over to MS Classic Cars. We will then reassign it to the new owner. So the new owner will officially be the second owner. And this letter here, this is actually the lien release for the title, which is also included. And this is a receipt of some service work that was done before we purchased the vehicle. Last but not least, we have the owner's manuals that accompany the car, along with this owner warranty identification card, which is also present. So all of these things here can be seen within our photo gallery. So once again, this vehicle, I thought it was extremely special because it is an 87. I find that the earlier years are the harder years to find. Because this car was a GT, it was a hatchback, and it also had a 5-speed transmission. That is the key. I found over the years that there's a lot more automatics that are still hanging around, but to find an original car that's unmolested with super low miles like this car has, especially with a transmission that's a manual shift, it just is a very, very hard thing to find. So I jumped on the opportunity to purchase it, and here it is today. So again, this vehicle, as far as the condition is concerned, I would say this is a super, super, super clean car. It's obviously always been garage, which is evident in its total condition. So I would describe it as a show quality piece. Talking about the exterior, when we get into the paint of this car, it obviously retains 100% of its original paint. What I did when I purchased it is I had no doubt it had original paint, but I still wanted to put an electronic paint meter on it, which I did. I went over every single square inch of it. It 100% has the original paint. I would say that the paint, especially after we detailed it, is absolutely beautiful. Like any vehicle that's 33 years old, it does have a couple of little chips here and there, nothing to really talk about. Again, if you're looking for something that's absolutely flawless, like it spent its life in a bubble, I would tell you that this is not the right car because, again, it does have a couple of imperfections. The paint, again, is absolutely stunning. It sits on the 15-inch, 15 by 7 actually, and they're kind of a turbine-style cast aluminum wheel. It's got BF Goodrich G-Force tires that are relatively new. So everything on the exterior is original to the car. The headlights, all the mirrors, all of the glass is in beautiful condition, all the emblems, everything again is original to the car. Talking about the interior, sitting in this interior, as I've said with many cars that we've had here at the dealership in the past, it's like sitting in a brand spanking new car. One comment that I will make is a lot of times in these cars from the 80s and 90s, whether it's Ford or whether it's GM, you find that these headliners tend to sag a little bit. The glue, just gets old and it starts to come apart from the headliner. This headliner is in absolutely magnificent condition, probably one of the best headliners I've ever seen. Everything in this interior is in working order, including the dome light, including this little light here that you can see. This is actually kind of a really unique light that these cars had. Even that's in working order. The dash is absolutely flawless. There's no cracks, there's no imperfections. The center console, the seats, the door panels, the carpet. It's really important that you look at all the photos that we have within our listing because it clearly will show the interior and how impeccable it is. I would go on record and say this is probably the best Foxbody interior that I've ever seen. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement considering some of the cars that I've owned in the past. It is absolutely beautiful. The other thing I'll say about this interior is everything is in working order. So when I'm talking about options and features, I'm talking about things like the remote mirrors, like the power door locks, like the power windows, the air conditioning. To touch base on the air conditioning, it was never converted. So it does not have the new modern 134. It actually has R12 still, so it blows ice cold. It functions beautifully. No need to convert it, but if somebody wants to convert it down the road, they easily can do that. So the AC works. The other thing that I'll mention about this is a lot of these Foxbody Mustangs, the radios typically have issues with the internal amplifiers. Sometimes the speakers crack and things like that. This sound system in this car works absolutely beautiful. I was playing the music today, coincidentally, Bon Jovi, the song You Give Love a Bad Name was playing earlier in this car, so I was cranking it up, reminiscing the 80s and 90s and so forth. But anyway, getting back to the interior here, even the glove box light works beautifully. All the switches and everything in here work great, so I can't say enough about the interior. You also have to check in our gallery of photos the trunk compartment. You'll notice that there's that cargo cover back there. That cargo cover is in beautiful condition. All the carpeting, all the lights, everything is like the day it rolled off the showroom floor. This was obviously an extremely well-preserved car. Getting into the engine compartment, the first thing that people are going to notice, they're going to notice that the inner fenders, especially the tops toward the bottom, kind of top and bottom, was painted with a black material. That's actually rust proofing. That was very common back in the 80s and 90s. People would do rust proofing. Back even before that, Z-Bart was a big thing. We've sold many classic cars. Recently, we sold a Triumph TR6 that had been Z-Barred. This is kind of like a Rusty Jones deal where they rust-proofed the top of the fenders and the inner fenders to prevent rust. So it was done to be preventative. That's what it's there for. That's nothing that we did at the dealership. It's nothing that the previous owner did. It was done when the car was new, again, as a precaution. It still has the original installation, which is in beautiful condition under the hood. Even the hood light works beautifully. The entire engine compartment in this car is 100% stock, right down to the air cleaner. We're talking about all the wires. We're talking about everything, right down to the nuts and bolts. Even the factory stickers and everything are still intact. This is not a car that was modified in any way whatsoever. It is truly, truly an unmolested car. The engine is the famous 5.0 liter engine. It's a super motor. At this mileage, this motor has so much more to go. One of our mechanics, Joe Fournier, he actually bought a 1990 Mustang when it was only 2 years old, and he put over 200,000 miles on that car, and it's still, that motor today is still going all these years later. So with 12,960 original miles, this motor has a lot of life left in it. The engine is actually coupled, again, to the 5-speed transmission. That is an overdrive transmission. I mentioned that earlier. The undercarriage of this car has also been rust-proofed, just like I was mentioning with the engine compartment. So you will notice the entire underneath was sprayed. Some of that spray got on the suspension parts, on the brake parts, on the exhaust parts. So if you see all of that within our photo gallery, that is the way it was done. They just get under there, they shoot everything to rust-proof it. Even some of it went on the rear end. So if anything, it's a good thing that it has that on there. It keeps the car from rusting. That's what they claim, and that's why they do it. This car still has the original exhaust system with the catalytic converters, so there's no problems passing emission or anything like that. It even still has the original stickers on the exhaust system. You got to check it out within our photo gallery. It's an absolutely amazing car. So with all that being said, this is definitely the real deal. If you've been searching for a Foxbody Mustang, I don't know what else you could possibly want besides a GT model, a car that was a one owner, that has less than 13,000 miles on it, and the icing on the cake is this 5-speed transmission. It's just the ultimate car in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. I'm going to let you listen to how beautiful it runs. I'll give it a few revs for you and let you check out the rest of it by visiting our website at msclassiccars.com. Again, if you don't follow us right now on social media, please do that. Make sure to sign up for our VIP email blast if you haven't done that as well. Once again, we appreciate you watching. I'm going to go ahead and start it. Fires right up, absolutely purrs. Barely even hear the car running. It sounds so nice. Something I'm super proud of. Thank you.